Hey guys, Pods here on the public test room. I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about some tentative changes to Soraka, which now exist on the public test room. As you can see on the top right-hand side of the screen, right above my face somewhere, they'll be listed like the actual numbers of what they've done. So let me just explain, I guess, in a slightly more detail. But Star Call, the base damage was lowered considerably, but whenever you hit an enemy champion with it, the amount of cooldown reduction you get on Astral Blessing has been increased. And aside from that, Infuse now has a mana cost when you cast it on enemy champion. So basically, what this is a really, really heavy nerf to lane, like solo lane Soraka, like top lane, mid lane. Now,
Gracefully.
Riot, I'll link to a post in the description below, and you can see what Riot has to say on the matter themselves. They did announce this a little while back before the changes actually happened. So yeah, I don't know. My personal thoughts on this. I mean, they are, according to Riot themselves, this is just kind of sort of early. They're testing stuff, and they kind of want to see where it's going in terms of whether or not solo lane Soraka kind of belongs in the game or not. My feelings on this are these are some really harsh nerfs. When the base damage is lowered that much, and like the cooldown on the spell is that low anyway, it's like you're taking 60 damage off each cast every like 2 seconds or whatever. Like that's a really big hit. If it was a slower spell, it wouldn't be as big of an issue. But proportionally speaking, when the ability is kind of like a machine gun, and you're taking damage off each bullet, and the damage is already kind of low to begin with, you just sort of think of it that way. But yeah, and I mean the infused thing, that's not a huge deal. It just adds some kind of cost, and it's not just free harass. In terms of my thoughts on the idea behind lane Soraka, I've never minded it. I don't think it's actually a huge deal. I know a lot of people hate it, I think, or something, but I'm not really sure what the general consensus of the public is on this. She's really, really weak to like heavy burst champions. Like I play Jarvan top, and I play him like sort of a burst assassin, which I've mentioned before numerous times. So for me, the matchup is not an issue ever. Um, I know she probably gives like people who play very passive tank, low damage tank type champions and just don't do very much, a lot of problems. But my answer to that would be, don't be a coward and play a passive tank. You got to be a man and fight the other person, bring the damage. But I know the game doesn't revolve around me entirely, so I don't know. Mid lane, I don't see it being. Mid lane, I see it being even less of an issue since like most mid mages are going to have the burst to just kind of go bam and then Soraka dies kind of thing. The other thing, she's also quite vulnerable to ganks. I mean, she doesn't have an escape. She's very squishy. You just kind of show up and you kill her. I don't know. I guess people find it annoying if they have that sort of playstyle where you just kind of hang back and want to farm, and Soraka just sits there wave clearing all day. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Now, in terms of how this is going to affect bottom lane Soraka, I mean, obviously it's not going to affect her as much, but I think the problem with the direction this is going is it's going to encourage the passive Soraka that I hate in lane if I'm ever playing bottom lane. You know the Soraka I'm talking about. I'm sure you guys have played with this. Where the Soraka just kind of hangs back, and all she is essentially just kind of an HP heal bot, and she never engages anything. Just kind of sits back and heal, and it doesn't try and harass. I absolutely hate playing with people like that, and it's sort of like, why are you even here? Just let me solo the lane, and I'll grab full EXP. I really, really appreciate it when Sorakas sort of are much more experienced in terms of their ability to harass, and they're just kind of up there and in the enemy face, and it's a kind of risky because she is squishy. But if you don't take risks, what's the point of playing this game? Uh, she's quite useful as an addition to like your own harass, an extra harass, and just kind of you sustain one another up, and then use the extra HP you have instead of just kind of sitting back and trying to farm the lane out. I'm not fond of that at all. I'm hoping the Nurse to Star Call does not encourage that kind of play. It might, just because the harass is less effective now. But then again, there's going to be more the ability to cast Astral Blessing more often if you're landing Star Call. So we'll see how it goes. Um, I'm not an expert on the subject since I don't actually play Soraka. I'm used to playing with Sorakas. So yeah. In any case, I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching. And again, if you feel like complaining and screaming, yelling about how they're going to destroy Soraka, don't worry about it yet too much. This is all tentative changes. I know no one ever listens to that, and if you don't like the changes, people just start freaking out. But anyway, have a look at the Riot post in the description below if you're interested in seeing sort of what Riot's thinking about for the 4.8 patch. I'll see you guys around. Goodbye.